Hello everyone, welcome back to the PS Vita 2000 review and comparison part 2. So here I bring the PS Vita 2000 pink and black color. So I just unboxed it yesterday. And then on the two of the PS Vita 1000 model, one is the Wi-Fi 3G model in black, and then a Wi-Fi version in white, which is the Assassin's Creed bundle I got last year. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the appearances. So first of all, about the color. So this, as you can see, this PS Vita 2000, it's just the regular black on the front. And this 1000 model is also just a regular pure black on the front. So the color is, I think they are identical. And then this white Vita is also just a pure white on the front. So if you have a look at my previous unboxing video of the Cosmic Red or the Sapphire Blue version of the PS Vita 1000, those two has those kind of like metallic look on the front color, and also on the Tokidon bundle of the PS Vita 1000, and that's also a 1000 version, but that one has the metallic look on the front as well, so it's different from this one. But for the regular 1000 and 2000 model, they are both just a pure non-metallic look of the black color. So on the back, so this pink color, and then this is just a glossy black on the touch panel. So this one is also glossy, so nothing special. But just one thing to mention, this pink color in the PS Vita 2000, I think it's kind of like a more neutral pink, not quite that kind of feminine looking pink. So even it's in the pink color, I think it's both good for male and female. And then if you take a look at all the other colors of Sony released this time, they are all kind of like those vibrant color, bright, lively, feels like young, but they are all kind of like a neutral color. It's not quite like just a one. Some of them are just for male only, and then the others for female only. So they are, I think they are both good for male and females. So I think Sony just put quite a lot of thought on the colors of this one. But I don't know what colors will be announced in United States. So usually the colors will be slightly different from Japan, but I don't know about this time. So let's wait and see. Okay, so on the size wise, they are on the front. I think they are quite similar, just some slight difference. You cannot even tell when you stack these two together. So as you can see, so the size, they are almost identical. And then the only thing you can notice is the thickness of the PS Vita 2000 is quite slimmer than the 1000 version, which is I do prefer for a portable device. The portability is the most important stuff. Number one factor of its features. So this one, definitely the 2000 wins here. And then as you can see the difference, this one feels like a round at the top, and then this three buttons are the power button and then the volume button are smaller than the PS Vita 1000. And then this mysterious slot just disappeared in the 2000. So nobody knows what this slot is for in the 1000 version. So I think Sony doesn't put any use in it. So just to remove it. So right now everything was left for this Vita game card slot left, and then two lights are added at the top for the 2000. And let's see what else. The left and the R buttons, they are the same. And that's pretty much for the top. And then if you take a look at the bottom, so let me see, the Vita memory card are at the exact same location, and then the headphone jack, and then the most important stuff change of this time is the switch from the Vita connector to a regular micro USB connector. This is, I believe, is a huge step forward. So you do not to keep another charger for your devices anymore. Just all the standard micro USB cable and then charger for your Vita, for your phone, for your tablet. That's a really a huge step forward. I like it a lot. And then you can see this is also kind of like a round finish, and then this one is kind of like a this is a flat and then round here on the side. So on this side you can clearly see this one is much slimmer. And then for the other side, almost the same thing. And then on the weight size, the PS Vita 2000 feels much lighter. So definitely that's the most important features of the 2000. And a lot of people call it the PS Vita Slim. And then another big change here, you can see they changed the shape of the start, select, and the PS button. And these three buttons are all round and then bigger than the previous version, which is much better than before because this one is really hard to press. And then this one is much easier. And then the speaker location is still the same, which is I do expect that gonna change a little bit. But when you press your buttons like this way, your two thumbs are holding the this speaker locations, and then it will make the sounds weird. But they didn't change it this time, so I don't know whether they will do it better next time. Okay, so let's boot them up to check their screen and then performance. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. So I press the button together, and then it looks like the 2000 boots much faster. Oh, it's done. There is almost 3 or 4 seconds delay. So let's try it again. Power off. And then okay, so now they're all off. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, go. So as you can see, this one is definitely the 2000 is definitely faster than the 1000 on the boot up. So let's take a look at their screens. So first of all, as you can see, by default, the 1000 version is all by default is in the blue background. So no matter what color of the console is, the black or white. But for the 2000, the default color of your console will match the color of outside. So this pink one will have this pinkish background, and then I believe if you have all other colors of the console, it will have the default color of matching color in the background. Okay, so it feels like to me they are kind of like if you take a look at the screen itself, it doesn't feel too much difference here. And then the responsiveness, of the screen is almost the same. You cannot tell any difference here. So let's try some games. So let me start the Uncharted Golden Abyss on both of the consoles. Let's see any difference on the screen. Okay, so now as you can see the OLED screen, the 1000 screen, it's a slightly brighter than the LCD screen, which is totally makes sense. So if you have two phones, one is the Samsung with the OLED screen, and then the HTC or some other LCD screens, you will find like on the default configuration, the OLED screen will be slightly brighter than the LCD ones. So on this screen, the OLED one is definitely more brighter than the LCD ones. Okay, so the performance wise, you're almost the same. And then as you can see clearly, this 1000 version, so it's definitely brighter, but the color balance, you see the white here, it's a more kind of like a bluish, and then this one is more warmer, and then it's more yellowish. So my personal preference, I do feel the LCD ones is kind of like a more accurate for the rendering of the colors. So it's kind of like a personal preference, but I do think the LCD ones renders like more accurately, but this one definitely have a brighter rendering. Okay, let's start. Okay, yes. Surprisingly, the 1000 get in to the game is faster. And okay, so definitely similar things here. Let me bring the camera closer. So as you can see, the two screens. So this one is more. It's definitely still the same thing, brighter, and then this one is darker, but this is kind of like a more yellowish, and then this one is kind of like a bluish, and then so let's see. Here is the sky. Yeah, you can definitely see the difference in the sky. So this one is kind of like if you see it from the screen, it's kind of like a purplish, and then this one is kind of like a a dark day. So let's go back here. So here's the light, and then here's the light and shadow. And I do feel the LED screen, the 1000 version, is a little bit sharper than the LCD screen, the 2000, but I don't think that's kind of like matters too much. So just a little bit, not quite noticeable. And let's see. Jump. Yeah, so not too much difference. Just rendering tone, and then the color temperature. So for the sharpness and the brightness, I do prefer the LED ones, but for the rendering accuracy and then the color temperature, I do prefer the LCD ones. So it's just kind of like your personal preference. Which one do you prefer? So somebody just prefer to have much brighter ones, and then somebody wants to have the trade-off of have the trade-off of the brightness for the accuracy of the color temperature, the rendering. Yep, so you can definitely see the colors on the LED screen is much cooler than this one. This one is much warmer. Okay, so that's for our Uncharted. So let's try another game, the Rayman Origins. So as I showed you before, the boot up time of the 2000, it's much faster, probably 3 seconds faster than the PS 1000 version. But the in-game performance, they are almost identical. There is I don't see too much difference here. So the loading time, they are all the same. So touch screen to start. Okay, so here you can see very clearly their color temperature are completely different. And then as you can see, so this one is the US version of the Vita, and then this one is a Japanese version. And then in the configurations in the main menu, so the Japanese version of the console use circle to confirm, and then use the cross to cancel, which is completely flipped of the US version. But as you can see in game, they are the same. So, and then you can also choose English for the Japanese consoles. So I don't see any difficulties for using the Japanese consoles. Okay, so let's just continue. And yeah, so this color is definitely more bluish, and then this one is more yellowish. And okay, so let's see here. Yeah, this one feels much warmer. And then, so again, this is still like a personal preference. I do think the rendering of the color rendering of the PS Vita 2000 is more accurate than the OLED screen. But this one is definitely much, a little bit sharper and then much brighter. But in the trade-off of the accuracy of the rendering. Okay, so next, let's try out the PS stores here. Okay, so the 2000s, it's slightly faster, but my 1000 version connects to the European server, so that's gonna be probably a little bit delay, but I don't think that's gonna be make too much difference in the performance. I do believe they are the same. So again, so it also proves that only the boot up time is faster on the 2000 version, and then all the in-game or the other settings, they are almost the same, no big difference. Okay, so this one is definitely faster, but this one connects to the US server, that one connects to the European server. It's gonna be some delays here. Alright, so let's try out the camera this time. So this is the 1000. And let's see. Just took a picture. Then let's see the 2000. And do you see any differences here? Yeah, the 1001 is definitely more saturated in the display. That's caused by the screen itself. It's not has anything to do with the camera. So let's see the the actual picture. So I don't see any big difference in the camera. I do believe they are identical. So just for the rendering of the screen makes this one is more saturated. So the camera, I don't see there's any big differences. And what else? Let's try out their speakers. Let's go into the game again to try out the speakers of these two consoles. So let's try the 1000 first. Okay, so this is 1000 on full volume. Okay, so let's try out the 2000. Okay, so this is 2000 on full volume. I feel the 2000 is a little bit louder, and then the speaker is so a little bit more details than the 1000 one. So I do prefer the speakers of this one, and it's definitely a little bit louder than that one. All right, so that's for speakers. All right, so that's pretty much for our in-depth review and then comparison with the 1000 model. And then please do comment in this video to let me know what else you want to check on. So I will probably do a follow-up if there are a lot of other requests. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I am gonna do unboxing for the PS Vita TV when it is released. So please stay tuned and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.